Hit record. All right, everybody, what's going on? Today we have a very special guest. His name is Justin. He's a true cigar enthusiast. One of the nicest gentlemen I found in the cigar industry. He's a cigar woodworker, one of the founders of the biggest online Canadian cigar community, called Canadian Cigar Enthusiast. He's here with us today to share a lot of his work, including his custom ashtrays, custom cigar storage, his company's called, what his future plans are, and just general cigar information. Justin, thanks for doing this.
No problem at all. Good to be here.
So we initially reached out when we started carrying your products, custom cigar storage. Right here we have your ashtray, and this is something that's dear to your heart, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah,
It's something that you did a great job working on. Can you tell us more about what you do with the woodwork and how you get that process initiated?
Basically, I had in my head, so I wanted to do ashtrays, and so I just kind of put it all together in my head first to see what it was that I wanted to do. And so anyway, I use all exotic woods from different parts of the world, Asia, Africa, South America. And so yeah, I make sometimes, like the one in front of us, it's one solid piece of wood. This one has epoxy that's kind of encapsulating it and whatnot.
Yeah.
Makes it look pretty sharp, I think, and but also a little bit pricey, but it is what it is.
So walk us through the time frame when you first start the project. How long does it really take you from start to finish? Is it like a whole monthly thing, or do you work on it over the course of a year? Because I understand it's not your main job, right?
Yeah. So that's right. It's not my main job. It's kind of like a weekends and evenings side hustle, if you will.
Sure.
And if I'm gonna do an ashtray, I'm usually doing 8 or 10 ashtrays at one time.
Yep.
So it's a little difficult for me to put an exact timeline on one particular ashtray. Between doing multiple ashtrays and then the start and stop of having family time and work time and then out here in the shop time, I've never actually tracked the time real closely.
It varies based on what
It
your
really
schedule
does.
looks like, right?
It varies on the schedule, but it also varies on what I'm doing, because, like, for example, if it's epoxy involved, that's automatically a couple days of just pouring and curing, and then all the extra sanding involved. It's the epoxy ones are much more time consuming.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
One of the things I've noticed that's kind of a distinguishing factor from the other ashtrays that we carry in our retail cigar shop is the weight of it. A lot of these ashtrays, these other brands that we carry, of course, they're all the same concept. They store ash the same, but the weight of it kind of gives it that real authentic wooden quality. Can you talk about, like, how does that come about? Do you just not carve it from the interior of any way, or what exactly do you do to make sure you maintain that weight?
The weight is just the weight of the wood, period. If you have any type of domestic lumber that we're going to find locally here in Canada, it's you can pick up a board, no problem. One of the boards that I picked up for this particular ashtray, actually, it was I think it was about a 10-foot board, 3 inches thick and 12 inches wide. It was a big piece of board. I had to cut it in half in order to get it out of my truck.
Wow.
And half of that, like about 5 feet, it was heavy.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you're referring to the bigger ashtrays that you make from that wood, right?
Yeah.
But it's not just the ashtrays that your work is limited to. You also have what I have in my hand, which is this custom single cigar holder, which is perfect, what I'm using right now. So how does this differ, like, in terms of the amount of time required to make it? Is it a lot easier? Of course, it's going to be less work, but
a lot less work. And generally, I always try to keep a number of those on hand, because, again, I'm not going to make one of those, I'll usually make 100 of them.
Yes.
With different types of wood.
Yes.
So regarding, whatever type of stock that I have at the time, then I'll make probably 40 or 50 of this, and another 20 or 30 of that, another 15 or 20 of the other, right?
Sure thing. Yeah. Yeah, of course. And then can you talk about, like, what do you have in terms of your future plans, do you want to expand on any one particular line of product that you're making, or do you want to continuously to focus on improving what's already in production?
Well, there's always room for improvement, I think.
I agree. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but my, like, for example, my ashtrays, there is an evolution of like what I see, what I first did my first couple ashtrays,
Yeah.
and then say what I did like a few years ago, and now with the epoxy, for example. The epoxy actually broadens the horizons on what you can do regarding, like, colors, and like it just makes one ashtray. You
Yep.
can take one single ashtray and have different epoxies, and now they all look so much different, right?
Yeah.
For different color
Yeah.
schemes and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So we're a retail shop. You currently have these provided for retailers, but it's not limited to just shops like us,
Mm-mm.
right? So if a customer of any kind wanted to approach you and ask to buy this wonderful ashtray or a single cigar holder, what is the cost generally speaking? Can you provide us like a range that you would be interested in selling these for?
So again, that's a bit of an open-ended question as well,
Yeah.
because when it comes to the ashtrays, it does depend on the size of the ashtray, the
Yeah.
type of wood that it is,
Yeah.
and if epoxy is being used or not.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So if it's because if I purchase, one piece of wood, and it costs me $300 for that piece of wood, or another piece of wood could cost
Yeah.
me $1,100
Yeah.
for one piece of wood. So obviously that ashtray is going to have a different price point than
Yeah.
another. So just in basic terms, my ashtrays generally will sell from anywhere from 175 to 400 plus.
Yeah, our shop, I can speak from experience, sells at 225. We're down to our last ashtray at the moment, and I'll just get up and grab this one to show you which one I'm referring to. Guys, this ashtray right here is the last of its kind in our shop. I'm sure we'll be restocking on some more, but I would say this feels right in my hands about like 8 pounds.
Yeah, that's about right.
Is that accurate? 8
Yeah,
pounds?
yeah.
And relative to other ashtrays, it might be a pound or two, but that's kind of the difference in quality that you guys get when you see like the actual weight of the wood being maintained within the work. So Justin's been providing these for how long now?
I've been doing ashtrays for must be about 4 years or so.
You have quite the extensive experience, you'd say, with like
Yeah,
with the woodwork
yeah.
and stuff.
It's like I said, everything is there's a lot of moving parts, a lot of evolution involved. Whether it's ashtrays or the cigar rest. I also do the drawers for the wine fridges, the wine
Yeah,
doors.
yeah,
So that's actually what I'm working on right now.
cool,
Is another set of drawers for a guy.
cool.
Most of my business, you mentioned retail shops.
Yeah,
Most of my business is actually not retail shops. It's all one-offs, and it's to
yes,
individuals that contact me
yes,
either through Facebook or Instagram.
yes,
So that's custom cigar storage, and
yes. Which,
in
yeah,
through Instagram or Facebook, you can find me. It's not that difficult.
yeah, which is, yeah,
So
that was gonna be my transitioning question, like where they can find you. You're pretty active on Facebook, Instagram,
yeah.
but I believe we were just talking earlier about an online shop where you're gonna be selling the apparel, such as the hoodie you're wearing, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So what's that all about?
So yeah, no, I was for quite some time. I wanted to come up with a logo that was interesting, a bit eye-catching, if you will, whatever. And so anyway, as I feel that I'm somewhat creative, but apparently I can't create a logo very well. So I did find someone that's local here in town,
Beautiful.
and they created they kind of said, well, like everyone knows you by your face and your beard and hair, whatever.
Yeah,
And
yep, yep.
so I was like, why don't we use your face? So anyway, so this is
That's
my
what you're going for, eh?
my sticker.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
my
yeah.
logo.
Oh, wow.
And so anyway, the apparel site is custom cigar storage.bigcartel.com.
Okay. We'll
So
have that. We'll have that linked in our description for the bio, where
yeah.
customers will once it's live, because it's under maintenance, right? Or you're adding some
Yeah,
stuff.
right now I have a few shirts, t-shirts,
Yeah,
and tank tops, whatnot.
yeah,
But I still want to add some hoodies and a few other things
yep,
in there and whatever. So hopefully it is, technically speaking, it is live right now,
yeah.
but I haven't really pushed it until I get these other products in.
Sure.
But yeah, people have already gone in and purchased because they see me wearing the shirts and they're asking me, well, where I want one of
Yeah,
those, you know what I mean?
yeah,
So there's been a number of people that go online and order themselves a shirt, and
yep.
I appreciate it.
No, like, yeah. I mean, if you guys are one of those locals within the Niagara region and you're looking to support people within the Niagara region like us, as we do in our retail shop, you guys can reach out to Justin through Instagram, Facebook, and obviously we're gonna leave his contact email in the description. Justin would be more than happy to give you a quote based on what's available and the
Yeah.
time that will take to make anything that you guys have in mind, whether it's an ashtray or a single cigar holder,
Yeah.
some drawers for a humidor, whatever the case is. I'm sure he'll take care of you regarding all those things. I want to transition into a topic that is dear to my heart, that is cigars.
Oh yes, yes, please.
So you're not just a woodworker, as we understand. You're a true cigar enthusiast.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
which one came first? Did you start designing ashtrays that got you into cigars, or were you smoking cigars and did you think like, I need something to put my cigar on to hold?
I started smoking cigars first,
Yep.
and the first thing that I started building were the drawers for winadors.
Yep.
And so I had a traditional humidor, but clearly wasn't big enough.
Yep.
And then I saw online through Facebook, I'm sure, someone had a picture of their winador,
Yep.
and I'm like, well, that looks pretty awesome. I
Yep.
think I'll build myself one. So
Yeah.
I at the time I didn't even own a table saw, so I just
Yeah.
bought a used one off Kijiji, and I made a set of drawers for myself.
Absolutely.
And then it was a few guys that I knew. They also were like, "Oh man, I'd love to have a set of drawers like that."
Yeah.
So I just started doing it for a few friends,
Yeah.
not expecting it to be a business of any sort. But it didn't take long at all, and there were people that I had no idea who they were,
Yeah.
and they're contacting me for drawers, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I might as well start charging money for this. So
Of course, yes.
here I am.
Yeah,
Yeah.
quality product takes extensive time to make.
It
and
really
all,
does, yeah.
and all. And then, so you mentioned you started smoking cigars prior to making all of these products that you're currently involved with at the moment. So what is your thought? What are your thoughts, particularly on the current state of the Canadian cigar market relative to what it used? Because you started smoking cigars over a decade ago last time.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
figure, right?
Yep.
So how has that state of the market changed for you? Do you find the new offerings more exciting or less appealing? What's that situation about?
Well, again, yeah, that's it's a question that every different person is going to have their own unique answer to.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I smoke the same cigars on a day-to-day basis
Yeah.
that I have for a number of years.
Yep.
So I personally, I'll say this very loosely, but I really don't care if there are any new cigars out because I'm quite happy with what I
With what you already
smoke.
know. Yeah.
But what happens is a new cigar will come out. I want to try it. I have to try it,
Yeah.
so I will try it. And I'm like, no, I still like the ones that I was
Yeah.
smoking better. So, but yeah, it's always interesting to see what's happening in the market, and what new cigars are coming out, what new
Yep.
blends are
Yep.
they're creating, because
Yep.
it's quite I find it fascinating that one plant with the different leaves is able to create so many different profiles,
Yep.
like taste wise and whatnot, that who knows what the next cigar you're going to have is going to be tasting like, because
Yeah.
there's a very big
Absolutely.
wide difference between
Yeah.
them all. Yeah.
We talk about discovering new cigars, whether you're interested in finding out new cigars, meeting new people, all these things. You've managed to successfully create a channel, you amongst your peers and your friends. You're one of the admins for the largest Canadian cigar community called Canadian Cigar Enthusiast, which
Yeah.
is one of the best ways from my experience that I found, discovering new cigars, getting people's intel on cigars, because there's such an extensive, deep topic, right? People think, like you said, it's not just tobacco sourced from the ground. It's
Yeah.
different combinations of
Oh,
leaves that
absolutely.
goes into the whole
Yeah.
product and the
In
story
different
behind it.
regions and stuff as
Yeah,
well, you
like
know.
it's endless. We can talk
Yeah.
about this for hours on end.
Yeah.
But the Canadian cigar enthusiast group, from what I found, is just a bunch of lovely Canadian cigar enthusiasts who have kind of shared their passion for cigars.
Yeah.
And you were successfully in the process of creating all of that back, how long? Like 4 years ago, was it?
Oh no, I think it was a lot longer than that. I want to say maybe 8 years we
Yeah.
started it.
Yep.
And so anyway, when we kind of put it together, you know, it was well, as all groups start off
Yeah.
really small,
Yeah.
and but yeah, it just continuously grows, and yeah, it's been great. I've
Yeah.
met so many great people
Yeah.
through just that one cigar page, and
Oh yeah.
there's so many other cigar pages that I've
Yeah.
also
Yeah.
met a lot of great people through.
Yeah.
But yeah, for Canadians and local people, like
Absolutely.
there's so many that I know
Absolutely. You were telling me
locally.
a story the other day. You found out one member in the group lives right around the corner, and now you guys are very close to each other.
Very close. Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
for me, from my personal experience, what CCE helped me with was when I came across your page. I knew about you as a person from your custom woodwork,
Yeah.
but the CCE group was a whole other thing. And then I
Mhm.
found out I got back in touch with you through CCE.
Mhm.
When I came across your page and I saw CCE and I saw that you're heavily involved, you're constantly posting and sharing your passion for cigars. I know you occasionally invite people into your Justin Hardwood lounge here in the
Yeah.
this beautiful warehouse that we're sitting in. Yeah, but no, it's always a pleasure to always discover these new products and meet new people and whatnot.
Absolutely.
Yeah, how has that been for you over like the past like couple of months? So you meeting new people and stuff.
Well, yeah, like I've been meeting new people for like literally years. And it's all through Facebook. Like I remember the first time there was one of the guys I know, he lives in the States,
Yeah,
and he was coming to Niagara Falls for, you know, him and his girlfriend were coming to Niagara Falls for the weekend.
yeah,
So we don't normally, you know, live near each other. So
yeah,
we thought, well, it was like, I don't know, 11 o'clock on a Saturday night. And I said to the wife, I'm like, well, I might as well go meet up with this guy.
yeah,
And it was like one of the first times that I was going out to meet. It was like literally meeting some stranger. That was the way she was thinking. For me, I felt like I knew the guy for years because of the back and forth content, and like, you know, the interaction and the conversations that we would have online. And so, but all of a sudden I'm telling her, well, you know, I'm just going to go meet this literal stranger,
yeah,
you know, at 11 o'clock at night. We had a cigar together, you know, we met up, and you know, he's been here a number of times since.
yeah.
So it's been great. It's just one example of many.
Yeah, yeah. So, guys, one of the reasons, I'm just gonna light up my Oliva quick. One of the reasons why the CCE group is also very exciting is because occasionally I'll get a lot of customers in the shop that are always asking about how they can be involved. They find out we have a lot of our own channels going on, like our email list and all that, but that's good for our own personal store. But when it comes to meeting people across the country, that's kind of where you guys want to join online group like CCE. And it just so happens, like for example, on Halloween, they have the cigar trick or treat
Yeah.
going on. Can you describe for like the locals around here that are debating on joining and investing time in CCE, like what would they benefit from this trick or treat program? A lot of people are interested in that kind of stuff.
Yeah, yeah. So it to me it's just an old school way of doing a cigar exchange, if you will, you know. And the main reason why I started doing this, and I've been doing this for a number of years as well, is just to create interaction between two people that they may know each other, whether through Facebook or personally, but there's a very good chance that they don't know each other.
Yeah,
And so, you know, they're this is just an opportunity that they can, send someone
yeah,
a little box of goodies.
yeah,
A lot of times it's, you know, there's a handful of cigars,
yeah,
possibly a little bottle of booze in there,
yeah, yeah,
maybe a few cigar accessories, if
yeah,
you will.
yep,
And again, that really depends. It varies deeply on who is sending.
yep, absolutely.
Some people will send a handful of cigars,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Yep.
And then other people, I've seen literally people are sending a full box of cigars
Yep.
with like a regular sized bottle of booze, and
Wow.
they're just packing it on there,
Wow.
right?
Yeah.
Like it's like the generosity of a lot of the guys and girls. There is a
Of course.
handful of
Of course.
females, you know,
Of course.
not
Yeah.
to exclude, but yeah, like the generosity is typically it's pretty
It's
pretty phenomenal
phenomenal. It's
to
phenomenal. Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be great when this goes on air and people are able to come across a group such as CCE and be able to
hmm
be involved in that kind of thing. And like it's not just about like giving away cigar. Of course, like cigars brings people in together, and you guys like you're not gonna get the exact cigar you want. That's not what any of this is about.
yeah,
It's about the whole spirit of cigars in general, bringing the
yeah,
community together, and
absolutely.
something that CCE has done incredibly well. And there's also an upcoming one after Halloween. So if you missed this one, the next one will be in Christmas, I believe,
Yeah.
where people
So
are a lot more festive and
yeah,
they're a lot more giving and stuff.
yeah. It's usually once people see what's happening for the Halloween exchange, then
Yeah,
yeah, there's definitely going to be a Christmas exchange, and so I usually I usually organize all that myself, and so for the Christmas one, it's usually going to be probably mid-November is when
cool,
I put the post on that page,
cool.
and everyone starts signing up, and then by the 1st of December, that's when
Yep,
everyone gets their addresses, their information on
yep,
what it is they need to do,
yep.
and what's required by them, and then off they go.
Yep, and if you guys are looking for any further incentive to join like a group, a phenomenal, successful group like CCE, what you guys need to be aware of is we're about to launch like a custom discount code. It's going to be CCE10. It's just a preferred vendor program where CCE members can get 10% off any cigar they want. That's going to be through www.smokemastercigars.com. We're going to have 1 to 2 business day shipping, free orders over $99, because as we understand, not everybody within our region or any like surrounding regions are able to access cigars, right?
hmm
And people need some sort of program where they're able to get it to their doorstep in an accessible, convenient way.
Absolutely.
And one of the channels where they come across these opportunities is CCE,
Yep.
where you'll find our link there. I'm sure we'll figure something out. Just post it once or something like that, and
Yeah.
whatever you got to do to go figure that
Yeah,
out.
and we'll add you into. We have a it's like a spreadsheet database, if you will, that we'll have your information posted there as well.
Yeah,
So if anyone is just kind of going through that list to see who's like what's available by who and whatnot, then they'll see your information and they can contact you from there.
beautiful. Yeah, and I'd love to also be more active in providing my intel on cigars and sharing. If you guys ever want to hear anything more about that, check out CCE. Like I said again, it'll be a great opportunity for all cigar community in general. Let's dive back into the topic of cigars. I wanna know, because you have an extensive collection of cigars yourself,
I do.
and you've been smoking over a decade, like you mentioned previously. Do you have a favorite cigar, and if so, what is it?
I absolutely have a favorite cigar, and anyone who knows me knows that it's
I have
the
an idea because I see you post about it all the time, but let's just publicize it. Why not?
yeah, it's Undercrown Maduro
Yeah.
by Drew Estate. That's actually what I'm smoking right now. I just took the band off, but there it is. Surprise.
Surprise, surprise.
Um, but yeah, it's I just find the flavors, the construction, everything, absolutely everything about that cigar
Yep.
is fantastic for me.
Yep.
Now, that being said, there's no chance that I should expect you to think the same exact way.
No.
You may enjoy the cigar,
Yes.
but I would be surprised if you also say that's your favorite cigar as well. By
Yes.
chance, what is your favorite cigar?
So this is the thing. My favorite cigar kind of changes periodically.
Uh-huh.
'Cause I don't think there's any such thing as better, but there is different,
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
Of course, if you're comparing the premium quality to a short filler everyday cigar, you're gonna have a better smoking experience. But I truly just believe once you pass a certain benchmark in terms of premium quality, there's only just different options available, not necessarily better. You can only construct a cigar so well. It's all
Yeah.
gonna just to make it smoke the same.
Yeah.
But with that being said, I have been enjoying a lot of the Oliva Series Vs in the
Yeah.
past. I smoked it last week. I'm puffing on the 2014 award-winning Melanio, or I believe it's 2015, 2014.
Something around there.
Yeah, 2014 it could be. The reason why I love the Melanio so much by Oliva is that, for one, I can guarantee myself, as far as my experience goes, consistency with the quality and the smoking experience of the cigar. They have such an extensive quality control system with the Oliva factory
Yeah.
that, by the time this cigar is done production, it's passed through about 50 to 70 pairs of hands, I read,
Hmm.
something like that. Medium body, has little notes of like nutmeg, peppery spice, complex flavor profile. Of
Yeah.
course, it's all subjective to me,
Of
right? I
course.
know, like, I don't know if you like. I've definitely enjoyed the Underground Maduros. Don't get me wrong,
Yep.
but like you said, it's not gonna be my favorite cigar. If they're slim odds, it would be, because there's
Yes.
so many out there, right?
Absolutely.
And if you asked me the same question like 3 or 4 months ago, I probably would have told you the what's it called, the Crowned Heads Mil Diaz,
Oh yeah, yeah.
the
That's a
Ecuador
good one.
Habano wrapper,
Yep.
medium body, creamy. But I found one thing of particular interest: my palate changes the more I smoke.
Yeah.
And when when I first started smoking cigars myself, I never really understood the reason why would anyone spend more for a better quality cigar. And now it's like, for example, the Ashton VSG by Canadian standards is somewhere around the ballpark of $30 a stick.
Yep.
Whereas I never really enjoyed that. And I'm not saying every $30 stick is enjoyable, but that one in particular has become an acquired taste for me.
Yeah.
And I do find myself leaning towards that every now and then, just for the very distinct characteristics that it has to offer. I'm sure you have similar experiences like that. Like, yeah, you do smoke Underground Maduro a lot, but like, what else is in your rotation?
The Mi Clarita, by Steve Saka's Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust. That one is another top hitter.
Yeah,
He also has Todos Los Dias, which is also another. I'm smoking a lot of the what some people consider the more heavier stuff,
yeah,
which is that's just what I prefer. That has nothing to do with me being better than anyone else.
yeah,
Everyone has their own profiles that they enjoy the best.
yeah.
The Nica Rustica.
Oh, yes,
We were
yes.
talking about that earlier,
Yes, I've
and
tried that recently. The Connecticut broadleaf wrapper is my
yeah,
brother's personal favorite. Yeah, he
yeah,
goes above and beyond for that wrapper.
it's a fantastic
I
wrapper,
believe your
and
Underground Maduro uses the Connecticut broadleaf, right?
yes,
Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah.
So like they just came out with a new Adobe cigar as well, and
Awesome.
that one is also, I find it very similar in the taste profile. So, but on that same note, I also know some people who don't really like the Adobe. But they really enjoy the original one.
Yeah,
So it's all on subject, on how you
yeah,
kind of compare all that, right? So
yeah, absolutely. Uh, Justin, believe it or not, it's almost been a half hour, and reaching our time limit with this camera that I have operating at the moment. So I just wanted to kind of touch point on a few of the main topics we've been discussing before we kind of hit that limit and kind of time out. If you guys ever want to follow Justin regarding any of his woodwork, you guys can go to Facebook or Instagram. What's the handle that they have to type in to get to that Facebook page?
just custom cigar storage.
Custom cigar storage.
Yeah, that'll get you anywhere.
Can you mention your website one more time?
So the website for my apparel that's upcoming is that's
Yeah.
customcigars.bigcartel.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And then if you guys ever want to like hear more about any new cigar offerings, like we've been discussing just a couple minutes ago, CCE, like we mentioned, it's a great place for that community. It's a growing, successful community with lots of great events happening. Consider joining it. We have lots of great events Justin's currently overseeing at the moment. And if you decide on ordering any products, you do have that benefit of getting that CCE 10% off discount from www.smokemastercigars.com. And you'll see a lot of other cigars available as well, all at your disposal if you live within Ontario, Canada. So Justin, thanks again for taking the time to do this.
No
I'm sure we'll
problem.
be seeing more of you soon. And
Yeah,
yeah, it's great.
for
It's
sure.
been a pleasure.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
no problem.